morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Fly With Us podcast. This podcast is bringing the art of conversation, self love, self care, mental health care and protection, life lessons, love lessons, and everything in between. Today, we're going to get lost in translation. I'm your girl, Lady Bounce.
And I am Picket Fence. This week's Mindfulness Minute is called A New Creation. I unleash my mind in new creative dimensions. I allow myself the freedom to exercise my imagination. I tackle new problems and new ventures in new directions. Sometimes in life, we may feel like a dull repetition of the same old task and the same conversations and same occurrences. The human mind is meant to converse conversations. Sorry about that. The human mind is meant to exercise its creative capacity, not to just mechanically complete tasks. You must unleash your mind so that it can fathom new directions and new solutions. Otherwise, restless leads to frustration, which can lead to recklessness behavior. Use the mind to invent something, to make something, or to solve something. Don't make the mind into just another machine. Let it play. Give it something to do that requires more than just cursory attention. You may be feeling bored or tired today. Maybe you feel like you have spent years or decades doing the same old thing. As you close your eyes today, slow off those old habits of the mind. See your consciousness expanding into new areas of awareness. See yourself becoming a new person, a new creation, a new creator, as well as a creation. Word up.
Word up. I feel like I should get the snaps on that one.
Right.
So, we are joined by a very special guest today, Poetiic from Poetiic University. I mean, I don't even know how to break down all the different hats. We'll get into it, but let's talk about Lost in Translations, she, her, game night, all of it. Welcome to the show.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
We're doing good, doing good. So what's new with
This
you?
Nester life is lit.
Yes, indeed,
Lit.
it is.
Ooh,
You
y'all,
just said it.
I'm still on a high from last night's event, boy. The lit, lost in translation.
The 1 year anniversary. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, and what's wild is lit started back in California. So a lot of the events that I've been doing out here, I already did it. I'm just redoing it here, but elevating a little bit, adding some new stuff, seeing what I didn't do right before, and so forth. So Lost in Translation, I started it last year in March at Imperial. And shout out to Barry. That's the owner of Imperial. But we recently had to move it because there was, pipe issues. Earlier in the year, it was super cold and pipes broke. It's horrible. You know what I mean? But Barry, that's my dude. We started over there and we were there for the majority of the time. We just relocated at the beginning of this year to the Grandeur Event Center over on Stop 8 Road. So yesterday was the 1 year. Well, the 9th, March 9th, was the 1 year anniversary of Lost in Translation, and it was fun. It was packed. The house was packed. They shut me down. It was like they took the mic from me, and we had Jade Renee and Kat King. They hosted it, and they was like, "No, Bo, you need to sit down and just enjoy the show for once. You're always working and running around." You know what I mean? They brought me a drink and just was like, "You sit still," and I was like, "All right." You know what I mean? So I was just picking it, and then everybody was, all the performers were on point. The vendors were getting to it. You know what I'm saying? We sold out of food. We sold out of drinks. Like, everybody was just lit. It was a really good night and good energy, good vibrations. And that's all I want. You know what I mean? I want a place where people can just come together and just, it's all good energy, all good vibes. You expect that. You come and pros doing it, oh, it's probably going to be some good energy in that building. No weird stuff,
Or so break down exactly what is lit.
So Lost in Translation is a platform for creatives to come and express themselves with a sound environment. Like, it's no Judgments. We've had all kinds of people touch the stage over there over the years. We had over the year, we've had an artist come through play the bassoon. We've had poets,
Wow.
singers, um, lyricists. We had one person who came up, and you know that song "Come Close" by Common. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you know how he was downstairs and he had the signs, and we had somebody come and he had the song playing and he drew out some stuff and he was just going with the song. You know, we've had like a whole ton of
Wow.
different type of creatives, and then they came off the stage feeling rejuvenated. They're like, "Oh,
Mm.
thank you for, you know, this." I had somebody came up to me yesterday, hood dude, and was like, "Yo, I'm so glad." I normally the spots that I go to, this a fight ends in a fight or somebody doing stuff like I don't even expect any of that here. And you know what I'm saying? Like I like poetry. I'm a hood nigga. I like poetry though. You know what I'm saying? Like so I'm appreciative of creating this platform and people actually appreciating it. And I'm not even from here. You know what I'm saying? They talking about they're appreciating this stuff, and I'm not even from here, and they receiving it. So that's dope. You know.
Yeah,
So,
that's real.
so speaking of, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's real though. Go ahead.
So speaking of not being from here, you are from San Diego, California. What made you trade the good weather, the beaches, the pretty men, the pretty women for Ohio?
You know, I get asked that all of the time. You know what I mean? That's the first question. As soon as they say, "Oh, you from San Diego? Why did you to date?" You know, that's the first thing. But I came for family. You know, my
Okay.
stepmother's parents were ill, and it was by the grace of God that we did come when we did, because they both did pass away, but we were able to have time with them before. So that was awesome. And I honestly was planning on going back to Cali, and then the daggone pandemic hit, and I was like, I'm gonna just stay here with my daddy. I'm gonna stay where my family's at for right now. Um,
Mhm.
but it was ordained. I was supposed to be here because if I didn't stay, you know what I mean. All of the great things that are manifesting right now out in this city, I wouldn't have been able to tackle.
Mm. Or divine
That's a
intervention.
beautiful way to look at it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gotta be optimistic. You gotta pull the good out of every situation. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you go about selecting the artists that touch the stage at Lost in Translation?
So at Lit, I don't choose. I don't pick. I don't book. It's whoever signs up first. You know what I mean? And I have a list that I can. You know what I mean? We've had nights that we had 20. It averages about 23 people. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But people hit me up from jump. Like last night, we had about 22 performers. You know what I mean? And coming from we had people from Lima that came down, people from Columbus, Middletown. Who else was in there? We had some Cincinnati in there. And that's dope. Like you drove on a weekday to come kick it with me. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really pick them. I have on my website, iampoetic.com, two eyes wherever there's an I. There's a way to sign up there. And then I ask them what they do, and I give them a shot. Now my events like Art of Words, like we got another Art of Words coming up March 18th at the Art Has No Rules. You guys been to one of the ones
Hmm.
we did, but events like that, I book people. So it's going from Lost in Translation. That's a platform for me to see tons of artists coming through, so I could be like, oh, okay, I could probably use him for a lyricist lounge, but she'll probably be better for Art of Words because she's more, you know what I mean, like that.
Yeah.
Like, depending on how they move and how they market, I create all of the materials from flyers to commercials to posters and digital, all of that. And I say, just push it, bring people. And I even, on my bigger events, I do situations where, you get you eat off of everybody you bring. Like if you bringing somebody in, you gonna get a piece of that too. Because a lot of people don't. They don't push the issue. They'll come by themselves. Now, if we got 15 people incorporated into this event and everybody just brings 3 people, we got us a situation. You know what I'm saying? So, um, lit, I allow people to come and show me what's up, and then I have other stuff that I may put them on depending on what I see from how they move with that.
That's dope. I like that. That really
I
gives artists a platform to really, even if they're a new artist, to like test the waters and work their craft. That's really dope.
Mm-hmm.
did. I like it because I like the whole thing of like no competition. There's enough space out here for all of us creatives to be creative. Because I know since you are not from here, you probably hear a lot. Oh, dating so crab in a bucket, dating hater, dating, hating dating or whatever. And really, at its core, we're not like that. But because you get a couple of people that operate in that kind of a space, then it kind of taints like the whole city. So like I had a friend who came up here from Atlanta, and he was like, man, y'all city is dope, like it's dope to be here. But before I came, people told me not to come because artists don't support each other, and people don't support, and people don't do this, and there's so much competition. And I was like, no, really, you got to find the right space. So Lost in Translation is definitely that space. Just from the couple of events that we've been to, I'm like, this is a whole vibe. Like we've thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, got dressed up, went on turning into a whole date night, because like you said, it definitely creates the vibe. The music is there, the artists are there, the food, the poetry, the wine. Shout out to Lontrell and Southern Secret, because you know
Yeah,
how we,
yeah.
yeah, that's my
His
guy.
his wines be on point. He was there yesterday too. Shout out to my guy. He was there with the massage
Man,
chair and the wine. You feel me?
Oh,
see,
he was doing massages and the wine. Oh
Yeah,
goodness.
they had them both
I'm
popping. We
extra
had Candace
jealous.
plus Paint up in there. Truly treasured. We had Daria with Miss Love XO. Goodbye Dev. There was a bunch of people in there. Rick
All the
Sexton.
homies.
Yeah, all the homies. Rick Sexton pulled up. Dre Manuel. Like there was just bunch of J Vez, Rafiki. There was a bunch of just dope people in the building. You know what I mean? And it was just dope.
That's
That
dope.
that is
So,
dope.
so you talked about other events. You mentioned Lyricist Lounge. Tell us about Lyricist Lounge.
So Lyricist Lounge is another space. It's for the hip hop heads. That space is for the hip hop heads. And the first one we did it last month, and it was just so dope. It's at an exclusive location. Um, it's this big house. It's a huge house where you gotta take your shoes off. You know what I mean? You come in there, you gotta take your shoes off. So come with clean shoes if you get the invite type stuff. But I clean socks. I mean, but it's a space where we got DJ D Wiz in the building, and he's playing nothing but hip hop, and every other song is an instrumental. So as you politicking, and a beat may come on, and you may end up spitting. You know what I mean? It's just giving that space. We got a room that is dominoes and spades and cards going on. Last month I was the chef, so I cooked for them, and I let Peanut and the Bars Kid host. We had a beat battle, so there's 4 of them that went back and forth with their beats. We had Mark Anthony, Lil Big Head, um,
Little big head.
his name's Lil Big
His
Head. We
name
got
is the best.
Puka Scotty and S Fresh, but they all brought it. Mark Anthony won. You know what I mean? He won, and they got trophies, some money, a page in the magazine, Poetic University, which I pressed 1,000 units per issue, and it is available online as well. We have lyricists go up. We got performers, so I have like maybe 4 to 5 performers, and then we have a beat battle. We do this thing called the lyrical. What did I call it? The lyrical. I wrote it down. It's so dope. I had a dope little name, but what it is, and you guys probably done it. The lyrical exercise, I think I called it, but it's where it's a cipher. The DJ play a beat, and I throw a word out there or a topic, and you got to spit on that topic. So everybody that want to spit, we can keep going, but we're intentional with it. You're intentional with your words and stuff like that. So that's that's what that is. So we got a beat battle, we got a cipher, an intentional cipher, I'd say. There's food, there's dominoes and cards, there's lyricists, and you're able to just really relax. We got couches, people was chilling on the floor. We had bean bags, like it's like a whole vibe, you know what I'm saying, in there. So, and it's exclusive. I limit the head count to 50. I don't want mad people in there where it's too crowded. I want
Mhm.
everybody comfortable. There's food, so it's really like you kicking it. It's a friendly competition. Like if you was there last time, how we did it is I was one of the judges for the beat battle, and Dawn with Raise the Bar was one of the judges. And we had and then everybody, the crowd was the final judge. So everybody had a yellow and a purple card. Go Lakers, Cali baby. So everybody had a yellow and purple. So yellow was the first producer and purple was the second. So after they go, you hold up the one that you liked. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Majority of the house is purple. Then hey, that nigga what? You know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
who won. That's
Right.
dope.
We was in there just really vibing, chilling. The Bars Kid was a really dope. Him and Peanut was really dope host, and their energy. They was clowning. People didn't wasn't in their feelings. I like friendly competition. I feel like you don't necessarily have to. Like for me, I'm not in competition with nobody because I know what I bring to the table. I know what I do. I'm not selfish. If I got a plug, I'll plug you with it. It ain't gonna hinder what I'm doing because I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I try to create spaces to where it could kind of, so people could be on that. You know what I mean? Because everybody want to battle. Oh, I'm gonna beat you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you don't necessarily have to be at somebody's neck. Why can't you be dope and then that one dope? And if they come a little better, that don't mean you suck. You know what I'm saying? They just may
Right.
be a little better. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if you have that energy, and I try to bring that energy with anything, like with the lit, with the lost in translation, with the art of words, like everybody come ready to go hard. Like you want to come so that people leave like, did you hear? Or they want to take their phone out and record you. Like that's but it doesn't necessarily have to be like I'm about to smash him and hurt his feelings or whatever. Like, no,
8 Mile. It's 8 Mile in there.
yeah, this ain't 8 Mile. This ain't that. I'm not bringing that. I don't knock whoever is on that or do that, but that's not necessarily what I'm trying to bring to the table. I'm trying to bring more of a friendly competition. Like me and my boys, New Era is my squad, and they're in California, but Diverse is in the Bay Area. Ray Got Skills is in San Diego, but when we get together, it more be like we're competing with each other. Like I bet you my verse is gonna go hard. Like we're getting at each other in that way, but not in a negative way. If that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah, not like a
It,
disrespectful. I'm tearing you down.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like this is my, like I'm not an artist myself, but I watch, Pickett be an artist, and I watch him when he's with his artist friends, and I've seen them, do the same thing, and they, spit a freestyle back and forth, and they be like, oh, that was dope, I'm stealing that. Nah, you can't have that one, but you can have this one, because it's all friendly, and then they all make each other better in turn because of those round robin kind of ciphers, because again, at the end of the day, if you think about even like a national artist, there's 50, 11 rappers out there, and they ain't beefing and competing with each other, not on a level where it's like turning to, hate and animosity.
Right.
Jay-Z is in competition with nobody. You know what I mean? Like he's at the head of his game. Kanye is kind of like the same way. Common can't battle nobody. But like these younger rappers, they be out on the battle stuff. So I guess maybe it comes with being seasoned, being a seasoned artist or whatever, about bringing that kind of vibe where it's not a competition. Where like you being dope only makes me doper because we hang together. So
Mhm.
like it ain't no
Yeah,
scrub situation. You lit, I'm lit. Let's go.
that's how, man. That's how it's supposed to be. I feel like that. Like and I've been doing this like podcast blog tour. I made this post and bro, Picket Fence, he's seen it and posted on there, and I just was like, who got a blog? I got stuff to talk about. There's just so much going
Let's
on,
go.
and I'm ready to talk about
Yes.
it. I'm working on. I've been in the studio every Wednesday. This lit is going good. Like I'm about to take lit on the road. Like I just did a show in Cleveland, um, on accident. You know what I'm saying? Like I got on
I
stage.
saw that.
I got on stage on accident for real. You know what I mean? And but that's a whole nother story. But after doing that, the DJ been on my, been hitting me up. You know what I'm saying? And we've been chopping it up.
Right.
So bringing it out there. I've been talking to people in Atlanta, Connecticut, back in Cali. So it may end up a situation where I take it to different places, and collab with uh, event coordinator that's in that city or state, and then we come together and then just get creatives in every area, and I could bring folks from out here. Like, so say if there's somebody in San Diego and somebody in Dayton that wants to do the Atlanta show, you know what I'm saying? It gives
That's
them
dope.
purpose
Yeah.
to go to a spot. There's something going on. You may go into a new city, but there's a crowd and there's people, in the city. Always grab some people in the city to participate as well. So there's a lot going. So I'm appreciative for y'all opening up your platform, for me to talk a little bit. And
Oh, definitely, definitely. No, you're always welcome to come on here. I want to go back to the lyrical exercise 'cause when you mentioned that, and I remember asking about that when you had posted that, and it reminded me of the era that I came up in because I love the lyrical exercise. I do it in my shows. I do it a little bit different instead of because when you're on stage you can't have somebody call it a word. So this last show I did a show a month ago, and I took markers and paper with me. And I said, I need some volunteers for this thing, what I'm about to do here. I want to show y'all the area I come from, where we used to cipher all the time. So I was like, draw a picture, draw a word, whatever you want, and I'm going to throw that in the rhyme. And people was bringing up papers. Lady Bounce was going to get papers from people in the audience and just putting them in the rhyme. I'm just rhyming about what's on the paper, throwing the paper right back out in the audience, just taking them. So I love that era. Like I said, I came up in an era where we got together. We just were freestyle for hours,
mhm.
hours and hours, and it was not a competition thing. Most of us knew each other, and some days you're not on your freestyle, some days you are really on it. And it reminded me of a time I met Bavu Blakes. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's an artist from Austin, Texas. He also is a teacher and he writes children's books. He had an intern in Dayton with the Dayton Daily News while he was in college, and we met him at some park festival or something like that, and he was like, "Well, yo, I'm staying here. Come on over. Let's just get together and freestyle." And we've been cool since then. He was here for the summer, and now we still chop it up online and stuff. And he's doing big things. And we both came from that era where it doesn't have to be a competition. I think that sharpens your sword.
For real. And I think, like you said, it sharpens you too, and that to the T, for real. And a lot of people don't do that. I don't think a lot of the artists, the younger artists, do that these days. And I just want to bring that back into it. You know what I mean? And stuff from the top of your brain, and not necessarily written all the time.
Yeah,
Just fun with it. Just talk.
for real.
Ish,
So,
as they
Yep.
say.
yeah.
Yep.
So let's talk about game night. You mentioned game night is coming up tomorrow, which would be Saturday. Um,
Yep.
what is game night?
Game night, we do it every well, last month was the first month. Tomorrow, well, March 11th will be the next one, and we'll do one in April as well. Probably the Saturday after Lit. So Lit is always the second Thursday of the month. The game night will probably be the Saturday after that, always. But I've been working with Gym City Market, and they have
Mm-hmm.
a nice little area over there. And I want to create a situation for the community to bring their kids out. It's free. There's no cost. We just come together and play some games. The kids could go play their games. The adults. The last one we had a ball. The kids was doing their thing. And then the adults was over there playing 500, gin rummy or spades. I whooped a few. We played some phase 10, like just kicking it,
Okay.
music. It's really just chilling. We had some food, like finger food. I'm gonna try to figure out what I'm gonna have tomorrow. Last month we had the market made some bomb barbecue chicken, and then we had some fruit and veggies and stuff like that. So it's just a cool little situation to bring the kids out and kick it, wind
That's
I
up.
might have to show up to that one
You
and
should.
bring my little I want to bring my word game, and I battle the kids. I mean, I battle the adults too, but there's this game called My Word, and I play it with my students, and I talk mad trash. Like I talk trash like a basketball player on the court. So like you get the cards. It's just a whole bunch of letters. So you got to look at the letters and make a word. First, you got to call out the word. Once you call out the word, you get to collect those letters. And it's an exercise for the kids to be able to like do one letter recognition, and then realizing that letters create words, which create sentences and paragraphs and so on and so forth. But I'm telling you, when I start talking trash, the kids really like get into it and they want to battle me back. So they really be looking hard. I'm like, come on, I'm the champ at this game, but let's go, you can try. And then by the time it's over, they've had not only have they had fun, we get really loud, really rambunctious. I done had teachers next door knock on my door, like, "Can you keep it down?" Like, no, it's my word
No,
Friday, and it's going
no.
down. And they learn new words, as a result of it. So yeah, I might have to show up and retain my trophy on some kids. I mean, I've battled adults with it too, but adults ain't as much fun because they be like, "I can't think of nothing," and they don't try the excellent way the kids do. Like
Yes,
kids
you
put in
hit it
way
on
more
the
effort.
nail. You hit it on it. I don't know what. What's the answer? I don't know. I can't think about it. The kids be
Yeah, I
like,
can't
oh
think
my
of
God, oh
nothing.
my
What's the you say? How you see that word? I'm like, come on, man, you ain't even giving me nothing. You ain't give me no cops. Kids is better competition than adults.
So you say you've been in the studio every Wednesday. Are you working on a project or something like that?
I am. I'm actually working on two projects, but the one that's probably coming first is called Paradigm Shift.
Mhm.
Um, and there is like a whole lot, like I'm coming at that a whole another way, you know what I mean? And I have a lot of like actually last night I performed a couple of new songs too. I got this really dope track with Truly Dominique called Self Love, and it's just so dope. I did that one. I got a song on the project called Growth. That's a really good one. That's a really motivating one. We have one in there called Time Alone. Everybody at some point, whether you're in a relationship, you're not, you need time alone. You know what I'm saying? Just to breathe, to
Facts.
rejuvenate, to all of those things. I've been really, and it's been a beautiful thing for me because I feel like I move in seasons. Some seasons I'm a photographer, some I'm a singer and rapper, poet, some well, I'm always a magazine editor, but I just photographer. I do photography, so I've been. Sometimes I can't always rap and sing it out. Sometimes I
It's
got to.
whatever feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Which and then I have to say, like, it has to be nice to have the freedom to kind of move in the space of
Yeah.
whatever feels good. Which is one of the things that we talk about on our platform, and the whole purpose of our podcast is moving in that space where you always feel comfortable, you always feel like yourself, and then having the freedom to move in whichever space you feel like moving. Like that's ultimate self-love, self-care, and definitely protection of your mental health, because if you move in the way you want to move, then those outside forces don't bother you as much. They're always there because that is the world that we live in, but to be able to operate in a space where some of that outside world kind of stays at bay, that's got to be an amazing feeling.
Yeah. That, yeah.
Definitely, definitely. So with all this different stuff that you want, amazing stuff that you're doing, one, how do you make time for self care, and what is your favorite thing to do for your self care?
Hmm. You know, as of lately, I've been just taking time to myself and just like literally to myself, because a lot of the times the moments that I have alone, I be sleep, because all the other times I'm out, I'm running, I'm meeting with people, I'm doing a show, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But I've been actively and intentionally taking time just to have some me time. Like I got them new hustle shirts, and Monday through Saturday hustle, and Sunday me time. You know what I mean? Whatever that looks like. So that I get massages. Shout out to Temple of Esteem, Stacy. Massages always do it for me. Does that count as self love?
Yeah, definitely
Absolutely.
does. That's Lady Bounce, one of Lady Bounce's favorite thing. We talked about Lontrell. Lontrell is Lady Bounce's massage therapist, so that
Mm-hmm.
definitely counts as self care and self love. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you go hard. You gotta ease the tension after you are constantly. I see you all the time doing shows, or like you said, in the studio or working on a magazine. So you have to take that time. So that's dope. That's what it is. So this week, your self care assignment is to take some me time. Heard up.
Got it.
So tell the people where they could get in touch with you if they want to either be on the bill or be in lit or Lyricist Lounge. How do people get up with you?
If as long you just go to the website, iampoetic.com. IAMPOETIIC. So I am poetic with two eyes wherever there's an I. And you can find everything there. If you go to my calendar, it says all the upcoming shows. It has my social media up there. So if you want to go to my Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all of that is available on my site. You know what I mean? And if they want to be a part of any of the events, there's a way to find out about that on the site as well. It's on the homepage. It'll ask you to just click a button and tell you what to do.
Word up. So before we get out of here, I gotta go to my favorite part of the show. Doom, 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 doom. Brain science, 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 science.
All right, I laugh every time. I don't know why. I always know it's coming, and it still makes me laugh. All right, so we've been talking about poetry and being creative and artists, being an artist and music. So I'm going to tell you how poetry brightens the brain and improves your memory. There are so many different kinds of poetry. Some rhyme, some are short, some take time, and some help court. If you just look for it, there's a lot of really good poetry out there, and there's a large variety of it. With a little something for everyone, it's pretty easy to find some poetry that will be a good fit for you. But what's the point? You can sit and read just about any kind of book or story you want. But what's the difference when it comes to poetry? I'm glad you asked. Why is poetry good for your brain? Studies have been done on poetry to determine how it affects the brain and whether it's different than listening to music or watching films. One study found that your heart rate increased when individuals listened to poetry compared to other mediums, and they slowly built up goosebumps as they listened. Poetry triggers an emotional response just like music. When a person reads or listens to poetry, MRIs have shown that certain regions of the brain's right hemisphere that are linked to reward and emotion light up from being activated. Poetry makes us smarter overall. Poetry isn't just about reading words, but it's also about understanding the sounds, the meanings, and the emotions behind them. When the brain has to put all these things together at once, the brain's function peaks and strengthens overall cognitive health. Poetry boosts your memory and encourages self reflection. Studies have done MRIs that show poetry causes the part of the brain that activates during daydreaming to light up while reading or listening to poetry. Poetry often sticks with the reader or the listener, causing them to reread and even memorize some of the words. Those who are poetic tend to be easier to get along with, as they operate in a sense of calm that is not found in people who are not artists. What?
I like that. Say it again for the people in the back.
Yeah, that's right. Run that back. So, people who are poetic and do poetry are easier and calmer and chiller to be around than people who are not, because they operate in a creative, free space.
I'm gonna
Tends to ease.
take that part, the part that you just said. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put it on all my stories. Just that part, and it make them
Love it.
go watch the whole thing, but just listen to this part first.
I'm gonna send it to you too. So, how can you get more poetry in your life? I'm glad you asked. So, we have this beautiful young lady on our show, and she's saying where to find it, where to find the poets, where to find the artists, where to find the creativity, where to find the hashtag good vibes always, lit nights, lost in translation, which is lit. You can also find poetry, of course, in books, in the library, on the internet. We all got the same internet. Shout out to TK. So, aside from listening to music or reading greeting cards, there are plenty of ways to get a little poetry in your life every single day. Whichever way you choose to get your poetry, let it take over your brain and be the most beneficial it can for you each and every time you read it or listen to it.
Word up.
Bird to the big bird.
So what else you want to leave the people with?
Just stay tuned with what we got going on. I got, there's a lot of things going on, so stay tuned. Whether it's if you're on Facebook a lot, add me or come to my page every so often. If because we got these events going on. I'm working on a short film that I think you guys may want. I may need y'all in it for, what I mean. But I'm working on some short film music videos, and just want everybody to know that whatever you want to do is attainable if you work hard for it. You put your mind to it.
Word.
So I'm just trying to be living proof that is possible.
Word up. Well, yo, thank you for being a part of the show. We got to do a lot of work together. We'll see each other. We're going to be chopping it up some more.
Yes,
And I look forward to it. I got to get to a Lyricist Lounge. I'm probably not going to be able to make this month's, but next month is my birthday month, so I'm trying to be out and about at all the events. So, word up.
We're going to have to get you in on April.
Word up.
All right.
So that's our show for this week. You can find us wherever you find your favorite podcast. Please like, share, comment, send us an email, share it with a buddy. Do those daily self-care assignments. We all need to make sure that we do self-care in any form. We try to give you assignments that are little to no cost. So just take that time. Like Poetiic said, you got to have that me time. I'm your boy, Picket Fence.
I'm your girl, Lady Bounce.
We out of here. Peace.